Good morning and welcome back to the show. James Rule, XRP, the crypto teacher. Nothing I talk about is financial advice. We're going to tear down a few things today. We're going to look at some government advancements. We're going to look at some projects. We're going to look at some amendments on the XRP ledger. We're going to look at the XRP rich list and we're going to have a good time. And if you just now started watching my channel, if you're new to the world of crypto, welcome. There's so many rabbit holes that you're going to be jumping in here in the next several months, and just get excited and take a deep breath and take your time because there's so many options out there and you'll drive yourself crazy. Go out and touch the grass every once in a while and enjoy the ride. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to look at a couple of things real quick. I have been getting a lot of messages on my phone. And the scammers are now attaching logos to their text messages. And they're trying to get you to dial a phone number, which is a scam phone number, and validate a transaction that did not happen. All you got to do is open the app on your phone to see that nothing has happened. But, 99.9% of the time when you receive a text message, it's going to be a scam. So delete them. Don't worry about your accounts. Delete. This includes emails. This includes phone calls. This includes all the above. The scammers are trying to entice you to log in and validate your credentials so they could steal your crypto. Also, we're getting scam emails from fake ledger accounts. They're wanting you to go in and update your software because the update is going to, keep it nice and smooth. You won't lose your crypto. Don't do this. Don't click on any links within an email at all. And you can go in and look and see who sent the email. This is not ledger.com. This is a piece of crap scammer that's trying to get your information. So delete all emails, delete all text messages. Do not answer a phone call. Let it go to voicemail. And just do the right thing because you will get scammed. Now, a way to keep yourself from getting scammed is with Caleb and Brown. I love Caleb and Brown because they keep my cash safe. They keep my crypto safe. And if I want to pull my crypto back out, I could pull my crypto back out and put it in my private wallet. You get a one-on-one broker. This is my splash page. And they give an example down here showing how hard it is to sign up on a crypto exchange. There's no help. There's no help desk. There's no one you can call. Well, at Caleb and Brown, you submit your order, the broker executes it for you, and you're done. If I have cash in my account, if I have crypto in my account and I want to make a trade, I can email or text my personal broker, which I'm not charged for each month. That's free of charge. And within a 5-minute period, I'll receive an email back. Hey, the transaction went through. You're good to go, James. So that's what I love about Caleb and Brown. There's someone there for you to hold your hand all the way through. Check out the link below. No monthly charges. Caleb and Brown is the way to go. And they do have institutional grade custody. And that's what it's all about. Let's take a look at numbers. 3.95 trillion, Bitcoin 111,000, Ethereum 4285, XRP, we hit $3. We're at $2.96. Not bad. Some amazing things are going to happen. Here next week, I think the feds are probably going to lower interest rates and more money is going to be circulating into the United States. More people are eyeballing crypto and blockchain and precious metals right now to diversify their investments. And in the 90s, I grew up in the 90s. I remember when the internet started. I remember when email started. I remember when text messaging and everything else happened. And in the 90s, we began to experience the internet of information. Today, we are experiencing the internet of value, and it's going to make a bigger impact on the world. So buckle up. Internet of value. Coming up in November, Ripple Swell is going to take place in New York. And they are going to have a massive lineup of financial institutions, of banks, of BlackRock, Citi, Franklin Templeton, BNY, and Adina Friedman here at the top, chair and CEO of NASDAQ, is going to be at Ripple Swell. Why do I bring her up? Because right here in this clip that was shared by Altcoin Daily yesterday, NASDAQ files with the SEC to tokenize stocks. Listen to this 2-minute and 34-second clip. They're going to use the blockchain. She's going to be at Ripple Swell. Have a listen and start putting the puzzle pieces together.
You want to tell people what?
You think we should?
Yeah.
Okay. So, so this morning we announced that we're going to be bringing tokenization into our markets. So making sure that equities are tokenized and traded on market, in the markets, not in a side sleeve, but actually in the core markets.
So the eventual goal, or is it today? 24/7, 365 equities, just let it rip constantly.
I mean, I think we are all moving in that direction. We announced several months ago that we're moving to 24/5, so we're
24/5
moving that way.
So Saturday and Sunday,
Not for equities yet. I think that we have to. We're walking before we run. But I think that getting to 24/5 is a major advancement for the U.S. equities markets. And then on top of that, now with tokenization, if we can introduce that also into the markets, it allows us to really think about streamlining the post-trade processing, bringing and modernizing elements of the markets that have a lot of friction. We are hyper resilient and we're hyper scaled. We manage, like today, we had 95 billion messages come into our systems today, and we had a median, return time of 20 microseconds from order to trade. We handle like 3 million messages a second. It's hugely scaled. But then at the same time, once that trade occurs, there's a different process. And then the post-trade process, as we know, is an area where tokenization really shines. And really cutting down the friction, managing capital flows across the global ecosystem, and really bringing that capability into the markets is going to be the next.
I'm curious to get your reaction to this. There's this very famous curve, which is like you get this early font of insanity, and then there's the trough of disillusionment, and then you grow through. And does it seem like crypto is actually in blockchain? It's finally real. It's like there's real companies doing real things, stable coins, what Stax did with the Genius Act.
Well, I actually want to point to that because, honestly, having regulators who want to work on bringing it into the mainstream and want to create the rules of the road is such a refreshing thing, because I think that it allows us all to understand how we can operate within a world where there are tenets of investor protection. The technology is going to have things we can and can't do, but also being forward-thinking and forward-leaning and how the technology is going to be applied is going to be critical. So we're very excited about the fact that we finally have this convergence of regulation between the traditional markets, the digital markets. How do we bring it all together to, frankly, advance all markets? And we're very, very excited about that.
It is happening, people. It is happening. And as I stated, she's going to be at Ripple Swell, people. She's going to be there. And right here, she's right between Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson. Tell me tokenized stocks, XRP Ledger, different blockchains are not going to happen. Go ahead and tell me. Go ahead and tell me it's not going to happen. Okay, check this out. Bitcoin Archive. BlackRock CIO. Check it out. Says that the Federal Reserve should cut rates by 50 base points next week. We already know, we're already speculating 25 base points, but 50 base points? And I was interviewed by Paul Barron yesterday, and he stated there could be 3 cuts before the end of the year. What is going to happen if that happens? Lower interest rates, more money in the market, more eyes on crypto, more eyes on the digitization of things, tokenized real estate, tokenized stock, tokenized everything, people. And we're at the right place at the right time right now. So the SEC, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, has finally flipped the script, and they are now pro-crypto. And I want to say hats off to everybody in the U.S. government that's pro-crypto, the SEC, CFTC. The feds are starting to look at it now. We have an administration that is incredible. And, of course, you got the Elizabeth Warrens, you got the Maxine Waters, you got the ones out there that term limits need to apply now, and they got to go. But anyway, right here it says the Crypto Task Force announced it will hold a public roundtable on financial surveillance and privacy on Friday, October 17th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the SEC headquarters. Here is the article here. Crypto Task Force to host a roundtable on financial surveillance and privacy. It says, following the spring sprint towards crypto clarity series of roundtables, the President Executive Order on Digital Assets and the President's Working Group on Digital Assets report, Commissioner Peirce directed the Crypto Task Force to take additional steps to promote United States leadership in digital assets and financial technology while protecting economic liberty. The Financial Surveillance and Privacy Roundtable will bring together panelists who are at the forefront of developing technologies to design to protect individual privacy. It would also facilitate an in-depth discussion on policy matters related to financial surveillance. It's going to talk about self-custody, crypto wallets, our rights as citizens to self-custody, our own crypto. So as soon as this gets closer to October 17th, I will be posting it on social media. I will also mention again here on YouTube. XAO DAO. I interviewed the team at XAO DAO here a couple weeks ago, and I'm really excited about this because I use both of these wallets. I use the Zaman wallet for XRP-centric tokens, and I use the Bifrost wallet for Flare, for allocating to the Flare time series oracles, and many more. Well, it looks like the XAO DAO has chosen to integrate Zaman Wallet and Bifrost Wallet as the first two wallets to support the XRP community for XAO DAO membership. Which wallet should we integrate next? So the XAO DAO, if you go to xaodao.io, you can put your email address in there and get on the wait list. The XAO DAO is a digital autonomous organization that is going to give you voting rights, that is going to give you incentives on top of the XRP ledger. If you didn't get to watch that video, go back a couple weeks on my channel and look for XAO DAO. I'm really excited to see this thing kick off. So I went to XRPscan.com, and in there's different demographics, there's different places that you can go in and research. But I was looking at the top XRP holders. Well, I was digging in a little bit deeper, and it looks like the Korean cryptocurrency exchange Upbit holds over 5 billion XRP. They hold over 5 billion XRP, and then Binance and BitThumb and Uphold are the next top holders. And of course, you got the escrows. You got the Ripple XRP held in escrow, which is time limited, released each month. And it was set up that way. They can't just rug pull us and, send all the XRP out there. But what happens when these financial institutions start to scoop up liquidity, and they're wanting more liquidity, and because they're going to send, trillions and quadrillions of value around the world in seconds, and they're going to need this liquidity to move all the money, people. But here is xrpscan.com/balances. or /balances. You can see Ripple's here on the top, and then you got Binance with 1.7 billion XRP. BitThumb, this is 1.6 billion. Uphold has 1.5 billion XRP. And then you come down here and you see CoinCheck and Upbit, and Upbit is wild. They have wallets that have 500 million each, 500 million in each one. You got Chris Larson, you got individuals, you got unknown names here with 236 XRP, 236 million XRP. Arthur Brito, interesting. And then you got Kraken and Bitfinex and BTC Markets, Crypto.com exchange, KuCoin. I'll leave a link to this so you can tear it down yourself. And there, the top 10,000 XRP balances. So you can scroll through here. I'm nowhere near any of these, but if you keep going, it goes to 12 million, 10 million, 9,876. It goes down, and then you get down here and you get to the hundreds of thousands. And oh man, and when you really look at it, if you look at the XRP rich list, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's only about 7 million, if a little bit less, XRP wallets in existence. And heck, me alone, I have 8 to 10 XRP wallets because I've tried different cold wallets. I've tried different software wallets. I probably have 8 to 10 different wallets. I am diversified into several wallets as well as crypto custody on these providers I keep talking about. But think about it. We're still early to the party. The circulating supply of XRP is 64 billion. Escrowed is 35 billion. It shows the demographics and breakdowns of all the wallets and all the crypto. Now, every time an XRP transaction takes place, there is a tiny bit of XRP that's burnt forever. So originally there were 100 billion XRP. Now there are only 99,985,000,000 XRP. What happens once trillions or quadrillions of value flow through the XRP ledger and it increases the burn rate, which is going to increase the value? Think about that one. Coming up today at 3 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be here and I want you to be there as well. That's why I'm mentioning this, because Chris Dangerfield, he's the developer on top of the XRP ledger. He and Dennis Angel, or Dennis Angel, have created an amendment to protect XRP wallets on the XRP ledger. I'm going to read this small description here, and then I'll leave the link to the X Spaces. It is a chat group, a live chat where you're going to hear speakers on the panel. You're going to be a guest in the audience. And if you want to ask questions, you can click on the microphone in Spaces and come up and ask questions if you're admitted up, and we'll check it out. So it says the proposed Firewall feature allows account owners to configure time-based value-limited safeguards on outgoing transactions. This is XRP wallets only. These restrictions ensure that even if a private key is compromised, an attacker cannot immediately drain the account, people. Like I always tell you, don't share your 12 or 24 word recovery phrases because they're going to drain your wallets. Giving the owner time to secure their assets, the firewall will integrate seamlessly with existing transaction flows as an optional feature that users can enable at their discretion. Additionally, the proposal outlines the creation of a whitelist mechanism, allowing trusted accounts to bypass the firewall restrictions to strike a balance between security and usability, allowing the feature to be configured so that this does not interfere with genuine day-to-day transactions. I will be there. This is Chris Dangerfield at Chris Dangerfield. It's going to happen today at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, my time. And I'm going to be in there. I'll probably be up on the panel asking questions and just, soaking up the breadcrumbs, because we're looking for ways to combat these scammers. I bring it up so much because I don't want you to get scammed. And there are organizations out there. I'm interviewing a couple this week that are in the process of bringing their products to fruition to combat these bad actors. So that's what it's all about. It's going to take an army to fight this stupid ass army of scammers that are out there trying to take your money. So if you get a chance, subscribe to the James Rural Crypto Show. I'm a crypto teacher. I'll see you guys and gals today at 3 p.m. Eastern in that Spaces. And don't forget to have a good day. And guess what? I told you so.